Hello, my name is Lisa and welcome to my channel. This is my very first video to share with you, but I have really felt this prompting to share more on YouTube because I have gone through quite a journey and I know I'm probably not alone, and I want to be able to share what God has been doing in my life, and also this to be a place of encouragement and where we learn more of God's word, but we learn it through the lens of life is sometimes very hard. And so this is kind of where I'm at in my life. So I am 53 and my husband was promoted to heaven in June. And previous to that, I had 6 years where I was a caregiver for him and taking care of him. And as I go through and share more videos in the future, I will get into that. But for today, I wanted to share this because I'm in a place right now where my husband is no longer here. I have 2 adult sons. One is home with me right now, being such a help as I'm navigating. My younger son is married. He just got married in May, and my husband was able to be there for that, which was such a blessing. So I have a new daughter-in-law, and they live 1,000 miles away from me. And so I'm also navigating a pretty much empty nest because my oldest is working and he's got his things in his life and he's getting himself to a place where he can go out on his own. And now I'm trying to figure out my life. I was a very active mom with my boys who were into a lot of sports. My husband was a school teacher. I was a school teacher. At one point, we were running from one activity to another, caring and nurturing. I was, if you're a mom like me, you know what that life is like. And then my husband got sick, and my life completely changed to now becoming a full-time caregiver. And I'm actually going to share today a little bit about that to start kind of from the beginning. And sometimes I'll go backwards even before that when my kids are younger, lessons I've learned. But my thoughts about this is I want to share this new season in my life of exploring and figuring out who I am and what God has called me to do, because I think many women like you potentially are also in that season of maybe your kids are adults now, maybe they're teenagers, maybe you're starting to think about what is that going to look like. Maybe you've had loss in your life too, like me. And I also, I think about the traveling, like I'm doing some more traveling. I want to share, I'm in Massachusetts. I want to share some of the New England things, some of the sites, my favorite coffee shops, places that I'm going. And now my life is different, and I'm grieving, and I'm also learning how to process grief. And I'm also an emotional release coach, and I do a lot of journaling and teaching women how to process their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I'm an educator with essential oils. And most importantly, I love Jesus with all my heart, mind, soul, and strength. And I want to be a light. But with that, it doesn't mean that life is easy, right? And it doesn't mean that everything's going the way we want. Most often it isn't. And I've learned a lot on this journey. And I heard today was really like one of the most extreme emotions that we can process is through grief. And that through it, though, it makes us stronger. And I do believe that. And I want to open my life, this lens of my life, through I guess it's called vlogging, which is new to me. So it will encourage and inspire you, because it's not for me to sit and talk about me just for the sake of me. It is to open the door for us to sit together with a cup of coffee and get to know each other through a video, through sharing, through you engaging with me and telling me about your life. So I'm going to just share a little bit here because I want to share with you. So 2018, my oldest son was in college. He was away, Liberty University in Virginia. And my younger son was a junior. And so that's 2018 to 2019. And that year, I'm going to actually show you a little bit of video. I had earned an incentive trip. I had hit the rank of gold in my company with Young Living, Essential Oils, and I was in Idaho. And I'm going to share a little bit about that right now. So that was, that rank and being asked to go on this trip was so exciting. I was also a kindergarten teacher, and definitely like the year and a half before, I was really feeling God calling me out of the classroom to pursue my business and to be a wellness educator, and to help families. So that's a whole other story that I will get into. But I ended up hitting this rank. And so my thought was that, okay, my income was exceeding my teaching income. This was the perfect time to walk away from the classroom. That was a whole God thing. As I said, I'll share that another time. And I ended up resigning from my position and starting the school year this September. My son was away in college, thinking this is it. This is what I'm going to do. And my husband was a school teacher, a high school teacher, and started getting into our routine, and things were moving great until into November, when he ended up with a respiratory, which was kind of similar, typical for him. He would get these respiratory, like he would bronchitis but this time he was having a really hard time shaking it, and he was starting to develop fluid in his legs. We had been married, so when he passed away in June, we had been almost married 28 years. And when he was 30, he was diagnosed with diabetes. And so step forward now to 6 years ago, and he's getting this fluid building up in his legs, trying to figure out what's going on. And I was so naive. I honestly never did I understand the whole connection to all of what was going on in his body. But a few months later, he was in congestive heart failure. Actually, that time he was probably in congestive heart failure for a little bit of time. Even before that, I don't know when it actually started or for us to really notice. And I share this little part of my life because this is where never in my wildest imagination would have expected this to happen. I was processing my oldest son being away. We have a very close relationship, and just having him away was so hard. And now my husband is in the hospital, and I am home thinking that I was going to be pursuing this business and that I would go visit my son in Virginia. We would get to take trips, and what did this next part of our life look like? Michael and I, my husband, his name was Michael, we were dreaming and planning and thinking about what now our kids are almost that place where they're going off on their own. So thank you for listening today. I will be sharing more on that, but just know that I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I know it'll be a place of encouragement. I know God has given me a lot to share, to help. And I know that you don't know me potentially, and you hit that subscribe. It may, you're not sure. I mean, this beautiful thing about what I feel, this place of YouTube is a place where through the lens of video, we can get to know one another and develop a community here, which is my goal. So thank you so much for listening.